All right, guys. Today we're going to be talking NBA Finals. World Cup 2026 is finally here. The state of all Miami sports and NFL OTAs, biggest storylines. All right, let's go. All right, guys. Certified Casuals, first episode ever. We are going to get started here with NBA Finals. We got to talk game one and game two. Just before we get into any specifics, let's get some thoughts here. Go ahead, whoever.
It's done, man. It's done. On Monday, they're gonna go up 3-0, and it's done, man. There's no shot they're coming back from a 2-game losing streak away. At home to coming down to the Knicks in MSG with the way Cat and Jalen Brunson are playing and doing something. I think the pressure's too much on them. Stephon Castle hasn't done what he needs to do. Apart from a lot of people, Wemby, you see that pressure waning on him a lot, and it's not moving.
I'm gonna go on my Stephen A. Smith rant right here because I came into this series and I want to be on the record that I believe out of all of us, I might have been the only one that picked the Knicks. And the reason for that is because I think experience matters, and I think right now, Victor Wembanyama has showed us that he is going to be one of the greatest of all time. He's 22 years old. He plays, with so much finesse to his game, but not yet. It's not his time yet. And I mean, we saw LeBron in his time when he won his first NBA Finals get swept. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks go out there and just sweep them. It wouldn't be a surprise to me. But game one proved that experience matters. I mean, just when they were down, you could see the Knicks wanting to come back. I mean, they showed it against the Cavs. They were down, I don't know, 20-something points in the fourth quarter. They go on a 19-1 run. You don't do that because you're lucky. You do that because experience matters. You've played together. I mean, let's talk about the history. You have three guys that played together in college. They won a championship in college, and now they're just doing it again. They look like they're having fun. So you have to be beating the Knicks by a lot to actually have a chance against them. Well, game number two, championship games, the Spurs had a chance. They almost came back in the fourth quarter, but again, the Knicks came ready to fight, and they just showed that they're the better team.
Yeah.
I think it goes into 6 games. I think the Knicks take it. Jalen Brunson is the king of New York right now. That man can't be stopped. In the playoffs, he just comes in clutch. And a few years ago, he almost beat Boston, but he had that unfortunate injury. But the Knicks are showing really just the process. A lot of their role players are playing really good too. Landry's been clutch. Like this is a guy that's just played big minutes, and every time he comes in, he's making a three.
He's looking like Ray Allen.
That's crazy.
Hey, he's looking like him.
No, and he's been balling all playoffs. He's been, and to me that's the beauty of it, right? Because that's what I think that firing Tom Thibodeau and bringing in Mike Brown makes a difference. Because during the regular season, Tom Thibodeau would run his starters to the ground, and when they needed depth in the playoffs, they weren't ready for it. And
Right.
Mike Brown having a little bit more balance in the offense and allowing Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges to get a little bit of rest, go into the playoffs healthy, not only for the starters, but also allowing the bench to be able to feel good and go into the playoffs feeling like they have some sort of rhythm, I think has been the biggest thing. And again, experience. Mike Brown and the Knicks have the experience. They've been through playoffs together. I think the Spurs, they didn't make the playoffs last year. It's still early for them. Now, don't get me wrong. I came into the series saying Spurs in 7. A little
still happened
because I'm a Heat fan, and
After game one, I knew it wasn't gonna be it, man.
But at this point, I think we need to start bringing out some brooms.
That's what it's gonna be.
I think Carlos brings a good point. I still think they're gonna get swept. But if you have any pride, you go out and try to win 1 or 2 games. And I
They
think they
might
have
get
it. I think the
one.
Spurs
They
have.
might get
Yeah,
one. They might get game. They might get game 4. I don't think they're gonna get game 3.
no,
With coming off that
That
coming up
energy,
with 2 away wins, man.
that
In
energy
MSG,
in
it's not
Madison
gonna
Square
happen.
Garden is going to be next level
Yeah, it's
again.
not
They
gonna
haven't
happen.
had a finals game there since 1999. They haven't won one since the 70s.
Yeah.
Everyone is showing up on
Yeah,
Monday.
it's
if
gonna be
you're
a
paying that much money for a
yeah,
ticket,
it's
you
gonna be
better
star-studded.
be.
They better win.
Well, something I heard on SportsCenter, I think it was Q Rich that was saying it. Only thing that maybe can happen is there's so much pressure and there's so much energy and there's so much hype going into it that a letdown can happen. I hope,
I don't
for
see
the
it,
sake
man.
of the pod, for the sake of basketball, for the sake of just entertainment in general, I hope that the Spurs are able to take a few so that we can get a few more games. But again, the Knicks are looking dominant. I guess my next question. This question isn't as impactful anymore because again, I think we all think Brunson's going to win it. But whose legacy do you think would have been more impacted based on the person that won? Do you think Brunson's impact would have been more impactful, or do you think Wemby?
I think if had Wemby won, it would have been super impactful. Now, do I think him getting swept or losing is gonna completely tarnish his legacy? No. But I think right now, I think it's Jalen Brunson's time, and I think this is gonna be very good for his legacy. I mean, along with Cat too, to be honest.
Is he now the best Knick of all time? Or are we putting him there right
I
now?
don't know about. I don't know. I don't know.
I put him over Carmelo if he
Hey,
wins.
agreed.
Nice,
Yeah.
If he wins,
nice.
I put him over Carmelo.
Yeah, if he wins, put him over Carmelo.
I don't know about Patrick and Clyde Frazier,
Yeah, I don't know.
but over Carmelo for sure. To me, he's already over Carmelo in my opinion, because Carmelo never took him to the finals. I mean, obviously he had the big three to go against, but what do you think, Victor?
I mean, for me, I think it's for sure Brunson. I mean, it's not even close.
Mhm.
Again, the age gap does matter, but I also think, if Brunson wins the ring, it's and possible Finals MVP. We stopped talking about him as an undersized guard, right? Becky Hammond saying, "Hey, no NBA team can win with an undersized guard." But if he does that, he proves the world, "Hey, man, we could do it, and not just me, but as a team." But I want to add another layer to it. If he wins this, he wins it before Luca, right?
Yeah.
And they were teammates. So when you think about that, the departure of Brunson when he left Dallas, it
Mhm.
was like we like you, but we'll let you go because we don't like you that much.
They
So I
didn't want to
think,
pay him $50 million.
I mean,
They're crying about it now.
you
But
don't have Luca,
Yeah. Yeah.
you don't have Luca, you don't have Brunson, so like you have nothing. But I think Dallas chose Luca, which by all means he is a better player. He is the best player out of both of them. But they said, hey, we'll let you walk, and I think that Dallas underestimated. I think a lot of people underestimated Brunson. So for him to win, let's also talk about the window of winning in the NBA. This might be the only chance they ever get to go to the finals again, right? Because we're talking about Boston, we talk
Yeah.
about other teams in the East.
Miami with Giannis.
That sounds
That'd
good.
be nice. That
So
will be
this
nice.
might be your only chance. So you got to take this chance. Wemby will have more chances. So this for sure will
For sure.
impact him as a in New York. They haven't won since 1973. He'll forever be.
The big
You
market,
know,
the big market does make a difference. I think when you win in LA, New York, Miami, Chicago,
yep.
that does make a difference. Now who's taking game 3? I want a prediction on who's gonna win it, and for funsies, give me a score.
Okay. Oh, a score. Knicks are gonna take it, and I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be 128-105.
Also, you think they're blowing them out?
Yeah. I really do think so.
All right.
If we have to, if I was a betting man, right? I'd say the over. For sure, the over. I do think that San Antonio is going to go out there and try to throw everything at them in the first quarter. I do predict a very close game in the beginning, maybe the first half, but we've learned something from the first 2 games is that they're just going to find a way to win. The Knicks are just going to find a way to win. So yeah, and I do believe they win by more than 10.
You win. Okay, Carlos.
I'm going the opposite. I'm going with the Spurs game 3.
Hey, I like that.
I think Pop is gonna regroup his guys, and they've had some days to kind of look in the mirror and see what worked, what didn't work, and I think Wemby's gonna have a historic night, especially playing in the Garden, NBA Finals. That's where the stars shine.
I mean,
So,
I
but
hope it's gonna be.
Yeah, I think Brunson is eventually gonna put things to bed, right? He's gonna win the championship for the Knicks, but I think Wemby is gonna steal a game in the Garden and just put up monstrous numbers.
All right. I mean, damn, Carlos, you're convincing me right now. But you know what? Let's go with Wemby, baby. I'm taking the Spurs. I'm taking the Spurs. I think it's going to be a close game. Give me 110, 108. I think Wemby gets
Wow.
a redemption shot in the Garden, silence the crowd, plays the villain. Give me that all day. I want that in my veins
That
right
would
now.
be that would be cool to see. That would be really cool to see. If he comes back and he wins everything,
Adding
that
to the legacy, adding
that
to
would
the
be insanity. Yeah.
he doesn't even have to win. He doesn't even have to win it. It's the
Yeah.
next time. It's
Yeah.
clear the Spurs are still young. Again, they have a young head coach. They have young players. But I think this is one of those games that he's gonna come back. He's angry, and if he's as great as I think he is, he's gonna have something to say. Um, so now moving on. Obviously, we got the World Cup coming up. World
Yep.
Cup 2026. Obviously we all know who Carlos is going for. Sorry to break it to you. Well, actually, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I am excited. Obviously, it's here. I was looking at tickets, and let me tell you, we got at least $400 for a nosebleed. So I don't know. I don't know if you're
Oh
gonna
no.
see it over there, but I'm gonna have as many TVs on as possible, and we're gonna be watching that. Um, but what are your early uh not predictions, but what are you thinking early? Who are you excited to watch?
I'm excited to watch USA, man. As always, that's every year. And more and more nowadays, we have players playing overseas. We have Weston McKennie in Juve. We have Christian Pulisic in AC Milan, and not even just a random team. 2025, they won the what's it called? The Italian Super Cup, and he was one of the main guys there. So I think our players now having that European level competition is making us better. Do I think they're gonna win? There's a lot of strong players. I mean teams right now, and I don't think they will, but I think they'll. I think we can get as far as quarterfinals, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
a nice little prediction there.
I think if you live in South Florida, you already feel the excitement, especially it being, in our backyard. And I think that here in South Florida, this is a melting pot of, the United States. So people maybe across America might not get it like we do, but hey, every 4 years we feel this excitement. And, having it, a couple miles away from where we are now and seeing the passion, it makes me want to watch it. It makes me want to be engaged in every possible game, and I'm excited about the growth of soccer in America because of course, like for example, I grew up uh in Miami, but I never understood or never really followed soccer unless it was a World Cup. So this does bring some excitement and it gives you that curiosity of wanting to know more. So I'm excited.
It's a big World Cup for all of us here, especially living in the States. You guys already know I'm rooting for my hometown, my home country. But I think overall, when you think about the heavy hitters, you got to put France, Spain. I think Spain is gonna go very far in the tournament.
Yeah.
They just played very well during the Euro Cup, and it's gonna be the last World Cup for a lot of our big idols growing up: Messi, Ronaldo. James. It's
Neymar.
gonna be Neymar, just a farewell tour for everybody.
Yeah.
But I really think I'm rooting for Colombia all the way. But if it's not Colombia, I think Spain has a
Spain has a great
big,
bench.
big chance to win it all, especially with the way Yamal is playing. It's gonna be big.
I'm excited, guys. I'm excited for the World Cup. Again, obviously, I always root for USA, especially because Peru never makes it, except for that one time in 2018. And
I was rooting for you guys, by the way,
yeah, I
back in
appreciate it, man. But
2018.
you know what? It's I knew what was coming. Unfortunately, I think USA has a good chance of making a little bit of a run, especially since obviously there's a lot more teams this year. So it'll give us a little bit of opportunity to get things rolling. I personally want either, if it's not USA, Portugal or Brazil. I would love to see Ronaldo win one just to spice up that Messi Ronaldo debate, because right now all the Messi, and again, I'm not saying which one I lean towards. We're gonna leave that for another for another day. But I think that the Messi believers like to use that, and I think Ronaldo getting one would be awesome. And again, he's still one of the greats, whether you think he's first, second, fifth. When you're one of the greats, getting a championship like that, to me is always something you want to see. And of course, Brazil, I always love watching Brazil play. I think their style of play is amazing. Again, I don't know if you guys saw, but Germany played USA recently. Again, they lost 2-1, but just seeing how USA was playing gives me a little bit of confidence that it's gonna be a fun time. So I'm looking forward to it. I know USA opens up with Paraguay soon
On Friday.
on Friday.
Nah.
Yeah, June
Uh,
12th.
so we'll be tuned in. We'll be tuned in watching everything going on.
Yeah.
Now, this next topic to me is probably the one that I'm most excited about, because it's about sports in our backyard. We want to talk about Miami sports all around. We're gonna talk a little bit about each team, just kind of where our heads are at, what we're thinking is going on. I do want to start off with the Dolphins. We got Victor wearing his sweater. That is my favorite team of all time. So I am excited to talk a little bit of Dolphins. I'm gonna start this one actually because I got a few things that I want to say. I am extremely excited about this year, but not for what most people are thinking. I know this year is going to be mediocre at best, but we finally have a restart. Every time that we've done a quote unquote rebuild, it's been a full rebuild. We've either retained a coach or we've retained a GM. And this is the first time that we finally have two new GM and coach at the same time. They are completely aligned. I watch every news conference, every time that they're on, I hear them talk.
The
And the
twins.
alignment to me is exciting. I like everything that they've done so far. To me, has been perfect. Now, with all that being said, they can go out on the field and go 0-16 and be horrible coaches. But to me, this year, number one, is all about seeing the decisions that the coaches make, how what they run on 3rd and 1, on 4th and 1, because I was sick and tired of watching McDaniels on a 3rd and 1 throw a toss and lose 3-4 yards. So I want to see the aggressiveness. I want to see how we play in the cold, the mindset. Obviously, we have signed more than 40 players to 1-year contracts. So it's unrealistic to think that this team is going to be good.
Right.
But I do like the fact that everyone is hungry. And if we can just get a few staples, including the rookie class, which I'm excited about and I'll talk about in a second, if we can get a few staples from those 1-year contracts that are going to be here for a while, that can set the culture, I think that's going to be a win. And then to go into the rookie class, I'm excited. We had 13 picks. Realistically, not all of them are going to hit, but I think Caden Proctor was a great pick at 13. He's going to be an amazing left guard this year. And next year, when Austin Jackson is gone, because he will be gone, we're going to move him over to right tackle, and we're going to have two massive men at our tackle positions, which I'm excited about. Chris Johnson, our second first-round pick. To me, he was possibly the best corner in the draft. He was the second corner taken, but I'm excited, even though he was drafted from San Diego State and they didn't really have a lot of competition. I think he's going to show up. And Jeff Hafley is a DB's coach at heart. So if he chose him, I'm fully confident. And obviously Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's
That
what I
man,
like.
that
That's what.
man knows how to make people fumble. He
Yeah,
knows where to be. He is a smaller linebacker, but I think in today's modern NFL, you don't need that big Ray Lewis type linebacker anymore. I think you need someone who's able to play the pass
more
and
ad-
and as long as you know where you are and you're instinctive, um, we're gonna be all right. So I'm excited about the draft picks, but uh, again,
it's
this year is all about Malik Willis. We're either gonna
it's
find out
it's
that
gonna
he's the
be
guy, or we're gonna draft the quarterback next year.
it's gonna be interesting, like you mentioned, to see how that left side with Caden Proctor and Patrick Paul, how those holes are gonna open for our boy Devon.
He
Give me that. And my sleeper pick that I think is gonna do very well, and I like him a lot, and he did well for me last year, is Tutu Atwell from the
okay.
Rams. I like the Dolphins like their small receivers, man. Take it back to Devon Best.
Honestly, Devon Best is my favorite Dolphins wide receiver of all time. Just so you guys know,
Tutu Atwell came in clutch so many times for Matthew Stafford and the Rams last year, man.
I think he can show up. I think
That's
he's
gonna be
gonna do
exciting
well.
to see.
And again, we don't have a first. We don't have a receiver one, so we need someone to step up until Chris Bell gets healthy, and hopefully Chris Bell becomes that wide receiver one.
Welcome to the Miami Packers. You know,
Yeah, literally.
I think that you brought up a great point. Every time you had the resets, it was okay. We'll fire the coach, but we'll keep the GM. We'll keep the GM, but So you have to do a hard reset, and I think that the Dolphins finally have that. Is it going to take a couple of years? It can, but it's possible that these moves accelerate the process. So I think that we're not looking for a championship. We're not looking for the playoffs. We're just looking for improvement. And I think that as a fan, you just want players to try. You want the front staff to try. You want the coaches to try. The owner. So I think they're aligned, and I think that's going to give them an opportunity for them to organically grow. So you organically grow through the draft. I think also seeing how the Packers operated, right? It wasn't like they were going to go out there and do what the Dolphins used to do, which is let's go get Tyreek Hill and let's try to fix and patch the holes that we have. But then you leave a whole side, that defense falling apart. So I'm excited about the organic growth. And for a long time, we've had this. All right, is it our time? It's not our time yet, but you can't just fake it. Not in the AFC. You have to you have to really try to build from scratch and see what this team can do.
Yeah, you guys hit it on the head with your takes as far as going into this upcoming season. A lot of optimism, right? From the new GM, new coach, new quarterback. Malik Willis has all the physical attributes. We saw this past season when he played against the Bears, he was able to make some clutch throws, put them in a position to win. So hopefully he brings that same energy to Miami. And there's just a lot of hype right now. I want to see these guys go out on the field, beat the Patriots, beat the Bills. Please beat the Bills. Josh Allen has been like kicking our tails just so many years. So
We're
we're in a tough division.
We're so unlucky because we had Tom Brady for freaking 20 years, and then we got Josh Allen, and now I mean
Drake May, dude.
we'll see what Drake May is.
He's a
I'm
baller.
still not a believer that Drake May is a Josh Allen or a top 5 quarterback, but
I'm like,
again,
Jose, hear you say that.
he is a good quarterback. Let's see, because he folded like paper in the Super Bowl and in the playoffs. And if you go back to the regular season last year, they didn't play anybody good. And again, they can't control the schedule, but any opportunity that they had to play somebody good, to me, he didn't play that well. So let's see. Let's see. Because again, if Drake May was with the Dolphins and he had that season, I'd be saying he's the greatest of all time. So let's there's it's somewhere in the middle. Um I do think that again, this year is all about just seeing if the coaches can develop. I want to see the rookies in week 1 be completely different than the rookies that I see in week 17. I want to see development. I want to see growth. Uh, before we move on from the Dolphins, I'm just curious who everyone's favorite Dolphin of all time is. Mine is Ricky Williams. To me, we had a poster growing up when I was little in the room in like maybe 2002, 2003. I remember having a Ricky Williams poster, and that's what made me, really want to watch the Dolphins. And I've been a Dolphins fan ever since. So I would say Ricky Williams for me.
Okay. I w- I would probably say I like the defense, man. I'm gonna go with Cameron Wake. That's one of my favorite
Ooh,
players of all time, man.
No.
great choice. And we were there. We were there that Halloween night when
Yep.
Cameron Week did that sack against Andy Dalton to
It was a
win.
safety and overtime to win.
Oh,
Amazing.
man.
Amazing. Well, he took yours?
He took probably my favorite defensive player. Yep.
Yeah.
He undrafted, came
He was
in,
an accountant.
just balled out, man.
Made from Canada,
Yep.
from the CFL. Who else? Who else?
CFL. I have to say, unpopular at this point, but I gotta say Tyreek Hill, man. I mean, he
Wow.
just came out and just can we agree that Tua made a name for himself because of Tyreek Hill? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, just
Yeah.
the excitement. I mean, the cheetah, man. I mean, probably in his time coming, from Kansas City, and just scoring 30 points, in a game. The Miami Dolphins were one of the best, or if not the best offensive team, during his years here or during the beginning of his tenure here. And I think just seeing that excitement. I mean, we look at offense now in the NFL as being fun. That's something that, I mean, one of the fastest guys in the NFL, not the fastest, just grabbing lobs from Tua and just taking it to the house. I think in recent memory, I think that's what I remember, and he's
2023
gonna
was
be one of my
was
What
the
a
best
year. What
season
a
of
year.
my whole lifetime.
2023,
so
I had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in my fantasy.
Yeah.
there you go.
2023, 2008 are probably my two favorite offensive years of all time, just because that's when they brought out the Wildcat and with Ricky and Ronnie, and it was amazing.
I mean,
Carlos,
I can't say Dan Marino's my favorite. I mean, he is a great, but I didn't see him play,
you
so
didn't
it's
watch it.
just I didn't watch him play.
It's
So
not the same.
I have to go with some of the OGs, Zach Thomas. Like just seeing him play when I was a kid is just a staple of the defense for so many years, and hopefully that's what we see in Jacob, right?
Uh,
Especially in these upcoming seasons. I mean, the writing's on the wall. Hopefully he's able to be something like Zach. But yeah, he was one of my favorite Dolphins growing up.
that
And then you also covered it, Ronnie Brown too.
oh hell yeah. Bro, that Wildcat offense was one of my favorites. I would say next to Zach, I would also put Jason Taylor up there. But again, there's just we do have some great players in our history. The problem is either the offense is good and the defense sucks, or the defense is good and the offense sucks.
Had
We
I
were never able to find it.
had I not said Cameron Wake, I was gonna go with Juice, but
Oh,
I'm gonna go
Jarvis
with the
Landry is
defense.
awesome too, man.
Yeah.
We had some good moments there. So now moving on from the Dolphins and moving on to the Heat. Again, I spoke about this with Jose in one of the pods. If Giannis comes to Miami, we're having a different conversation right now because to me something needs to change. This season, they took the joy out of it for me. Every year, I'm normally an optimistic fan. I go into it like, oh, you know what? As long as if we at least make the play in, we have a chance. I'm one of those people. Um, But you just saw it during the season that they just don't have enough. Yeah, the first 10, 15 games were amazing. We had Norman, everyone was shooting lights out. Everyone, it looked like we were going to freaking crush it. And then as normal, we came back to earth because we just don't have the talent that we need in order for us to be at the top of the East with Boston and New York and maybe Philly. I never really take Philly that serious, but it's just hard. It's hard without Giannis. I think this might be the year based on everything that I'm seeing. This is where he wants to come. I don't think they're gonna trade him to Boston because if they do, they would have to trade Jalen Brown, and I don't think the Bucks are gonna want to see Giannis, and I don't think the Celtics are gonna want to see Jalen Brown. Um, So I think he comes to Miami. I think if he comes to Miami, we'll be able to sign all those 1-year contracts like we did when we had the big three. Bring back Chris Middleton for a year. Bring back, bring whoever we need to bring in to be some shooters and make sure that we have the pieces around. But like I mentioned before, a front court of Giannis and Bam with Davion Mitchell at point guard is a very, very hard team to score on. I don't know who else is going to be there. I don't think Norman is re-signing. But I do think the Heat need to do something. Bam is not a number one option. He cannot be your number one or your number two scorer. He is your number three best scorer and your defensive anchor. We need a star. Or
So
maybe Davion Mitchell is pissed off in Cleveland and he wants to come through. I'd love seeing Spider over here because he reminds me of D Wade. But things need to happen, and they need to happen now.
So there's another reason why we need the Knicks to win, right? Because let's just say Knicks go lose. Like, you already know that New York is going to do everything they can to get Giannis into New
Come on,
York.
New York. We need it, baby. We need it.
One of the reasons why I'm rooting for the Knicks is that because can't afford to see Giannis so close to coming to the Heat and then end up with the Knicks. But so what I'll say is I think that the Knicks, sorry, the Heat need to do everything they can, stop playing safe, and go get him, right? Kind of like a hard reset, because yes, it's going to be hard to win with him right away, right? Because you need other pieces to actually compete for a championship. But it would be already a better team than having what we already have right now. So you don't get too many opportunities to go for a top three, top 5 player in the NBA, and this is your chance. You go get them. And the Heat throughout their history, they've done this before. They went to go get Shaq. They got LeBron through free agency, but they got him at the right time. So this is your time to execute. And Eric Spoelstra, Heat coach, or Giannis, I think you do have a real chance at competing in the East, and especially for an NBA championship.
Yeah, man, agreed. I think we need to go out there and get us a star, like Ale was saying, and then fill those holes, man, to make a run. Because like Ale said, Bam is great defensively, but I don't think he is consistent enough to be our number one or number two scorer. I
I
think.
mean, he did have a
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love how
I'm just saying.
I love
I mean, he does.
Consistency.
that
I'm
83.
just saying.
Consistency.
Yeah.
I think that's the key word. I don't know how I feel about Tyler. I mean, if we get Giannis, he's
He's
out there with him, but it'll be interesting to see what we do now before the season starts, and hopefully we can go out there and get him.
Yeah, the Heat have just always been a first class organization, right? They make all the right moves. We have the big stars in Miami. Who doesn't want to play down here? Um, Jimmy Butler, things came to an end. Breakups are never easy, but he gave us a few good years, took us to the finals. Of course, LeBron had to give him an L, but
that was
that
hard.
just happens. But
Watch.
Giannis would be great fit when you talk about culture, organization, and just the next 5 years. It would be great for Miami as a whole. But I don't think we keep Hero. I think he's gone.
Yeah.
And I think just his injury history, it's time to move on from him. If I'm keeping one star in Miami, it's Bam. And then I
Everyone
think
else.
it's time for Hero.
Yeah.
Khalid.
I agree, man.
Giannis can bring out his
Yep.
brothers, man. I
Well,
mean,
well, he's
Yeah.
bringing
King was just then.
he's bringing his brother for sure because I feel like it's part of his contract. Like he's like, if
Yeah.
I'm on your team, you have to have my brother. Now, let me propose a trade for Giannis here, and you let me know if just accept or deny. Maybe
Yes.
I've been seeing on
Yes. The
Twitter.
answer is yes.
I've been seeing on Twitter that some people are saying we're offering too much. But what about we do
White House.
Jaime, Kalel, Tyler, 4 first-round picks.
I'm fine with that.
Yes.
I'm not opposed to that at all. I like Ware. I like him a lot, actually, but for Giannis, I'm not opposed to getting him out of there, man.
You're taking that, Carlos?
Yeah. We need a star. And
Yeah.
Giannis is
So
The only
let's talk about the players like Mikal Bridges. We talked about that earlier. He's been traded twice, and twice he's been given for 4 first-round picks. Mikal Bridges, great player, but he's not Giannis. So if I'm the Heat, I give up whatever I need to give up for a
M-
player like Giannis.
My only concern, and maybe it's not justified, is and this is on me for the lack of research that I did on this, but I feel like lately he has been injured. I don't know if there's some injury concerns there, but honestly, at this point, we need something different. Something has to happen. With the
Ale,
team.
what I'll say, Ale, I think that he just doesn't have the motivation to play in Milwaukee, right? And I
That's what I
think
was gonna say.
that it's not just he could probably be hurt here and there, but I think most of the times if you really look at it, in fact there was a time last year where he says, I want to play. I want to play. The Bucks don't want me to play, right? Yeah, of course they're protecting their investment. So I think that he's good to go, man. And especially if he comes out to Miami, you know that he's gonna train,
That's gonna
and
be
be in tip top
2%
shape.
body fat. We'll get lean, lean. All
It's gonna
right.
be great to see. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Just a few topics here left with the Miami sports. I do want to just touch on quickly with the Panthers. I do think that the Panthers are going to be back this season. I think after making 3 runs to the NHL finals, your body just gives out. We lost Barkov in practice before the season even started for the whole year. We lost Michael Kachuk half the season. Marshy was injured. I think all our players just started getting injured so much that we needed a little reset. So I'm glad we were able to get a little break. But NHL, hey, that Stanley Cup is coming back to Florida very soon. So Vegas or Carolina can enjoy it. Even though, hey, listen, that series right now, I don't know if you guys are paying attention to that, but that series is crazy, and we'll talk about that in a second. Um, Anybody have any Panthers thoughts, or we can move on?
No, I think Panthers, it's hard to make any championship across professional sports 3 times in a row, right? And it was bound to happen. But bodies break down. But I think, hey, you have the number 9 pick in the NHL draft. You go out there, you pick the best available player, and you go at it again. That's what great teams do.
Yep, awesome. Also, listen, my Miami Hurricanes, I think they're winning the Natty this year. I think they are
Plus 1600, plus 1600. Go
they
get it
are the
now.
closest Miami sports team, in my opinion, to a championship. Of course, they lost last year
Yeah, it's not
with
even close.
with one drive. If we had Cam Ward back there instead of Carson Beck, maybe we were champions. Um, but I do think coming into this year, from everything that I've read, from everything that I've seen, first of all, Mario Cristobal is such a monster at recruiting. My he just took another 5-star away from LSU a few days ago, which I was excited to see. I think Darian Mensah is probably I'm not gonna say he's better than Cam Ward, but he's definitely better than Carson Beck. I think he is the perfect balance of Cam Ward and Carson Beck. He can stay in the pocket, he can run, he can scramble. But this is the team Cam Ward needed, because not only are we effective on offense, now with Darian Mensah, we have Malachi Tony, which is our number 1 receiver.
What a
Barkade
baller.
Barkade was the leading receiver in all the ACC, and he came with Darian Mensah from Duke. And so we have two number 1 receivers. If they double one of them is open. If they don't, or they double both, we got Mark Fletcher coming out the backfield. He decided to come back for another year. I think, yes, we lost a few people in the offensive line. I think the one team you don't have to worry about when it comes to the offensive line is the Miami Hurricanes, because we have Maribel and we have Mario Cristobal, which, in my opinion, are the 2 best offensive line minds in college football. And if you look at our schedule is looking pretty. I will never say easy. It's not looking very hard. The only thing I'm going to say is November 7th in at Notre Dame is going to be the game to bookmark. Now, the bright side of this is because they're not in our division, if we happen to lose that game, we'd still be in a great situation to make the playoffs. And right now we are plus 6.5. So they have us losing that game by almost a touchdown.
Wow.
Go
Yeah.
put your money on Miami. Go put your money on Miami right now because we're going to win that game. We're going undefeated this year. And I think we win that natty and we bring it back to Miami,
As a Florida State fan, it
unfortunately.
pains me to say, I know,
Lord Jesus.
but I'm very happy for. Listen, there's one thing about me is that I'm not a hater when it comes to sports, right? But I'm happy for my friends, for my closest friends, my best friends, or University of Miami fans, and I'll be applying to UM later on this year. So for my MBA. But what I'll say is that this is a time that UM has waited for, and not just UM, but their fans. You guys have waited for this moment for a long time. So I think it's deserving, that you win, and I think that they've created a competition. They're recruiting. I mean, they're recruiting out of our own backyard. So I think it's a big deal when they can just make the presence be felt in South Florida. And I think this is the time. I think this is Mario Cristobal's time to win it for the city of Miami. So I'm very happy for you guys. Go get
Yeah.
it, man.
We have a top 5 roster this year, in my opinion. We have a top 5 roster in college
So
football.
that is why I'm getting the plus 1,600 for UM to win.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to
So
put some money
I'll
on
get
that.
it. $10. I'll go put $10.
Hey, whatever. Carlos, you got
Hey,
any
but
thoughts on Miami?
I think they're gonna have another great season, pick up where they left off last season, and just continue to make a statement across the nation that Miami's here to stay, and we're gonna continue to be a powerhouse football program, just like we were in the early 2000s. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, you remember those days?
John
yeah.
Taylor, Vince Wilfork. We can go on forever.
Ken Dorsey.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee. We can go, bro. We can go. Warren Sapp's a little bit before, but um, we got some. And the beautiful part about it is that they come back. They come back. The alumni in UM is one of the best. I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. No one is going to get me off my boat that UM is going to win this year. And go put your money on it.
It's
And
exciting to see because last year was my breakout year to actually start paying attention a little bit more to college sports and especially UM. And it being my first year and us getting as far as we went and not seeing it come through, I'm hungry for it and I'm excited to see what they're gonna do this year.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. And we'll be talking about it as we get closer. And now to finish off our final topic, we're just gonna talk a little NFL here, a little bit NFL across the board. Some QB battles going on, which obviously as Dolphins fans we have one that
Yeah, I know.
maybe we're paying attention to a little bit more than others. We're gonna do some early Super Bowl predictions. Or just contenders, not who you think is going to be making it to the Super Bowl, and then we'll touch a little bit on the trades that happened last weekend. So for me, I think we need to start with the QB battle in Atlanta. Again, as I was a Tua fan, as a Dolphins fan, I was like, Tua is a is going to be the guy. After 2023, I felt so justified, but I think number one, his body died out on concussion, started making him not being able to process the field as fast. I think the hip came back to bite him, so he wasn't throwing the ball to his capability, even though he never had a strong arm already. But a lot of, again, as a quarterback, you're getting your power a lot from your legs and from your hips. It's not
Absolutely.
necessarily from your arm. And even coming out of Alabama after he broke his hip, there was some doctors saying that, again, he was a quarterback who was going to have a 7 to 8 year career because at some point his body is going to start breaking down. Now, I've been on Twitter. I've been on Twitter lately, and the Atlanta Falcons are 70% Tua, 30% Michael Penix. So I have a feeling that Tua is going to be able to win the quarterback battle. I do think it benefits him being in that division. Half the games he plays in Atlanta, which is in a dome. He has another game in New Orleans, which is also in a dome. He has another game in Tampa Bay, and he has a game in Carolina. None of those get extremely cold, and you're gonna get a lot of game in stadiums and domes. So to me, I think he's gonna have an opportunity to show up and be successful. He has Bijan and Drake London, so he has some weapons there. I'm excited. I'm hoping he does well. I'm not just like when Ryan Tannehill went to Tennessee. I was excited for him to do well in Tennessee. I want Tua to do well. I want him to be successful. I am curious to see how much longer he has because I again, watching what he did in Miami, I did see his body breaking down a little bit. But I do think if I had to choose between Tua and Michael Penix, I'm choosing Tua.
It's funny because I remember uh, throughout last season, what everybody would say was that Tua was a different man during practice, right? Like all the throws that he had to make during the game, he was making them in practice, which I
'Cause
get it. It's
he's
much
not getting
slower.
hit.
He's not getting hit. He's not afraid of it. I think a lot of it comes to do with being with that fear of getting hit again and being, And in Atlanta, he's in a solid position where Penix is still kind of suffering with that ACL injury, and it's going to be tough to get him back in. I think he might not be able to start for a couple weeks, even if they chose him as a starter. I don't think he can start for a couple weeks into the season, from what I saw. And yeah, I mean, having Bijan there is incredible, man, incredible. That's a weight off your shoulders a little bit. You have a great wide receiver like Drake London, but it'll be interesting to see. And I really hope that he does great, man, because I'm a huge Tua fan. I hate the way things ended. Um, Kind of like Carlos was saying, breakups are never easy with Jimmy and the Heat, and it kind of ended nasty over here at the Dolphins too. We wiped house. But Tua, as a person, I don't know him obviously, but from what I've seen, I like him, man. He seems like a solid guy. He has a solid arm. No matter what people say, I think it's not a cannon. I'm not gonna say that, but he can be accurate. So
Accuracy, yes, and I think
right.
under Stefanski, I think Kevin Stefanski is gonna put him in a situation to be
And
successful.
without having to deal with much of the elements
Oh
can
yeah,
help that accuracy, you know what I'm saying? So, I
Yeah.
think I think that'll be interesting to see, and I hope he does great.
To me, the Minnesota Vikings quarterback situation is probably the one that I'm looking at the most. Ki-
Kyler Murray is winning that, and it's not even close.
so Kyler Murray, hey, so Kyler Murray, he so much talent, but it goes back to what I mean. We saw this in Arizona. Like, yes, you're good one Sunday, and then next Sunday, it's like you didn't watch any film because you're playing a video game. That's how it felt. That's what you saw. I mean, and if you look at their record, he has some fault, right? So, and I think that the tools that Kyler Murray has, his mobility, his speed, his experience, that it does give him, that advantage. But JJ McCarthy, first round pick, I think he is a quarterback of their future. He just needs to learn how to play, and he needs to compete with somebody. I think that the job was just given to him, and that's why he didn't feel that urgency. But now the Vikings have a dilemma because the Vikings can win. They can win something in the NFL, whether it's their conference, their division. You have Justin Jefferson, who I think is a big voice in that locker room. You had you saw it many times where he was like, "Hey, JJ, like, what are you doing?" And he wasn't very private about it. He would like say out there, "We want to win," and I think that it's going to be a good competition for both of them, no matter who's the quarterback this year. Competition creates something fun to look forward to. So looking forward to that battle.
You're right.
It's Kyler Murray's job, 100%. He's taken that, and you can see even in the press conference just how much of a professional he is. JJ McCarthy still going through some maturity
Agreed.
struggles right now, but I think Kyler Murray is gonna have a revival in his career. I think the Arizona Cardinals are one of those franchises, just like the Jets,
Gosh.
where unfortunately they don't know how to really work with their quarterbacks. And we saw it with Sam Darnold, right? Kevin O'Connell was able to really uplift his career, and ultimately Sam Darnold became a Super Bowl champion with the Seattle Seahawks. I see a similar narrative happening with Kyler Murray. I really think that they're going to be competitive in that division. It's one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. I would put it up there with the NFC West as well. But I think Kyler Murray is going to make the Vikings a playoff contender. Another
See,
QB battle, like you guys were just mentioning. I think Tua's got that job as well. It's gonna be interesting to see him in a new coach, new team, just a fresh start. He's a winner, national champ. You can't ignore those things, and sometimes you just need a fresh start in your career and really change the landscape of your career. So I think it's gonna go well for Tua, and I'm rooting for him. Again, the 23 season here in Miami was phenomenal, right?
Nah,
I know
man.
you guys remember that. It was good to see Tyreek Pro Bowl, Tua Pro Bowl. Unfortunately, we got destroyed in the playoffs, but
Yeah, well, to be fair,
good
we
old
lost Sheila
Dolphins
Phillips with a
smashing.
torn ACL. We lost Bradley Chubb. We lost a lot of our defense there. But I do think Tua's gonna do well as long as he stays healthy. I do think Kyler Murray's taking that for sure. I think JJ McCarthy at best is Case Keenum in the league. But again, that's just my hot take. He's still very young, so he could come out and be extremely successful.
Yeah.
It happens. I also agree Arizona's not a great organization. The owner does not spend money. I think not only the offense that they have with Kevin O'Connell, but again, Brian Flores is a defensive coordinator. To me, he runs the best defense in the NFL, or at least a top 5. And Brian Flores is an incredible defensive mind. And I think Kyler Murray having that defense is gonna help him. Is gonna help him a lot, and he's gonna feel good, and he's not gonna feel like he has to do everything. I think Kevin O'Connell can make any above average quarterback really, really good, and I think Kyler Murray has that. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the Vikings do.
So I have a question for Carlos and Ale because you guys are loving Kyler Murray. I love him too, but I'll ask you this: what excuse did he have in Arizona? So other than you know coaching mistakes, what excuse did he have? Let's look back at when he signed his contract with the Cardinals. The Cardinals put a clause that said you must, not you may or you
Study
if you
tape.
want to, you must study video X amount of hours. I think that we're quick to blame sometimes organizations, but in this case, I think that you got a lot to.
I
So I'll
agree.
ask you the question: what was
I
it? I mean, you
agree.
have a great tight end. You had some pieces, not the best, but
I agree. And to me, the only reason why they were even close to being good was because of Kyler. I think the natural talent is there. I do think when you have a culture of again inconsistency, and it can trickle down. Again, as the quarterback, he has that responsibility to show up. I do think that number one, he grew up a Minnesota Vikings fan, so I think there's a sense of pride in going to Minnesota and having that. And I do think that sometimes when you're that first overall pick, maybe you can take things for granted and you think that it's just there for you. Uh, but when you get released or you get traded, I think it'll wake him up, and it's making him realize like, hey, this isn't forever. Let me make the most of my opportunity. He got a 1-year contract. I think he wants to get paid again, so I think he's gonna
yeah.
show up. He's gonna lock in, um, and that's why I think Kyler's gonna ball out this year.
With that being said, I think because he is in a 1-year contract, I think he's gonna ball out.
Oh yeah, man, let's go.
Interesting to see.
We gotta see. We gotta see what happens. Early Super Bowl contenders.
Give
Now,
me
hold on. Before you do this, I want an early Super Bowl contender, and then one team that you think is going to make some buzz that isn't expected.
give me the Rams.
Yeah, I
With
get
the
that.
addition of Myles Garrett, I think Matthew Stafford is an incredible quarterback. Puka,
Devontae.
I think it's just I think it's the perfect time because I like Devontae's on his way out. Matthew Stafford's on his way out. With the addition of Myles Garrett, I give me them, man. And Sean McVay in there.
Yeah,
I think they're taking it this year.
he's
They played very well last year, but I think this could be their year.
Now, what's a sleeper team that you think might sneak up on people, or maybe a team that you want to sneak up on people and be successful, other than the Dolphins, of course?
Other than the Dolphins, I mean, man, I hate it and I don't want to say it.
Oh, you suck. What are you
I
gonna
I,
say?
know.
I hate it so much, but the Patriots, man.
Well, there's that. They made it to the Super Bowl last year.
I know, but I don't think they have. I don't think it's gonna bode for them the same this year. I don't think they're gonna be as strong this year. But
All right. Well, go ahead, Victor. I'll go last here so I can
So
close out.
I'm not wearing my Rams jersey, right? Because that's representing the Dolphins. But I think the Rams, it's theirs to lose. I mean, just let's look back at how close they were this year to being, you know, the Super Bowl champion. I mean,
Few plays away.
so I'm talking about plays away, plays away. Let's actually, you got something to say. Say it.
no. To go back up, I want to change my answer.
You know?
I really
Which answer?
the Patriots.
Okay, please.
Give me the Bucks, man.
Okay,
Give me the Bucks, man. I
that's a
like
better choice. I like Baker.
Baker Mayfield is that guy, and I want him. I want him to. I don't know if they have enough, but give me the Bucks.
All right, Vic.
And as you were
That's
saying,
good.
sorry, Vic. Yeah,
No. Hey, I'm
Go ahead.
all about
yeah, yeah.
I'm all about taking it back because if you need to take it back, you take it back because this is you got a few choices here. But no, I think the Rams, they already dominate offensively. Now they already dominate defensively. I mean, let's think about it. They get the best, in my opinion, defensive player in the NFL, a defensive player of the year. You add them to that. I mean, Aaron Donald could be coming back. I mean,
That
I
would be
think
insanity.
they just have, and you don't need him to play every down. 2 downs here and there. To actually make a difference. But I just think that this is I mean, Matthew Stafford. I mean, the guy it's just been good in and out through the years. When he was in Detroit, he was good. His team wasn't, but he was good. Then he comes to the Rams. He does it. He wins, and now I think he does it again. I think that this is the year where and it's a good way for him to go out and
Yep.
go and retire. In the AFC, I have to say, I believe it's going to come from the AFC North, and
Okay.
let's not sleep on the Ravens or Cincinnati. I think those are two teams that we don't think about. But Burrow's still Burrow, and Lamar Jackson is still Lamar Jackson. So those would be my two my
Okay.
sleeper picks.
Sleeper picks. Carlos.
So I want this to be played Super Bowl night.
Oh, we
I
have the
picked one of those
footage. So the
15.
receipts are here. The receipts are never leaving.
So Super Bowl on the AFC side, I think the Bengals, like Vid just said, if you look at their strength of schedule, they have one of the most favorable schedules. So I think they're gonna be
I like
a
that word.
top seed. If everybody stays healthy, and with the addition of Dexter Lawrence on that defense, I think that's going to be very beneficial. You think about Baltimore, a new coach. Is Lamar still going to be Lamar? I think they'll still make the playoffs, but don't believe in the Steelers, and the Browns are a mess.
Always.
Kansas City, yeah, I think it's going to be a down year for them. Still think they're maybe a year or two away from kind of being that competitive team that they've been for the last 5-6 years. From the NFC side, just like you guys were saying, the Rams, and it's negligence if you don't acknowledge the Myles Garrett addition. Just phenomenal player all around, and they're all in, right? F them picks. They're all in.
Yeah.
And especially Matthew Stafford, MVP last year. So you got to put him right up there. And
QB.
Seattle's right there too. Even though they lost Kenneth Walker, right? They got that running back from Notre Dame. I think he'll be able to fit right in with Zach Charbonnet as well. So they run that 2 running back offense. I think it's gonna be JSN, right? AP Offensive Player of the Year. So it's just gonna be a fun season. Now my sleeper pick, a team that I'll be honest, I kind of wrote them off, and then towards the end of the season, they picked up some steam in a division that's not really one that we think about too much, but the Saints, believe it or not,
I like
Whoa.
that pick.
Great
I like that pick, Carlos.
Great
they're
pick.
picking up some steam, you know.
Wow.
That quarterback I was kind of shaky about, but he stuck in and he won them some games, and they have some pieces, right? Chris Olave, they just signed Travis Etienne. They have Alvin Kamara, who's this guy s- just moves so well, and he's been so talented for a while. But the Saints, they just find a way to win, and they're in one of those divisions that it's
NFC
they
South.
yeah,
can
you
go.
never know who's gonna win.
You
You
never
can
know.
lose more games and still make the playoffs, and But
Yeah.
Carlos, to kind of piggyback, I think that the Saints have the biggest turnaround of all the teams. And the great
Early?
choices. I think they make some noise.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And to end it here, my Super Bowl prediction again, I could go Rams, which again would be a great win. But I want to go with the Denver Broncos. They were one game
Oh.
away from making it
Okay.
to the Super
Wow.
Bowl. If Bo Nix hadn't had gotten injured, the
I like that.
Patriots wouldn't have won that game. But I think the Denver Broncos will make it to the Super Bowl this year.
I like that.
And my sleeper pick is actually who I hope they play against in the Super Bowl. And I think this would be such a phenomenal matchup. Give me the Chicago Bears. I want to see Chicago and Caleb Williams be successful, break the Madden curse because he is in the cover of Madden 27. So I hope, again, so many people have fallen because of that Madden cover.
All people.
Shout out Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis, dude.
But I would love to see Chicago. I'm a big Ben Johnson guy. Again, if you don't know who Ben Johnson is, he was with the Dolphins in 2012. In 2012, sorry. If you ever watched Hard Knocks that year, again, he was our quarterback coach. And I've been following him ever since. And I love Ben Johnson. I love the drama between Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur. Um, I want to see Caleb Williams be that guy. I think he showed us last year. First 3 quarters, straight ass. But you get to that 4th quarter and he put that team on his back, and I think they'll find some consistency this year. So hopefully, but that's it, guys. So
Awesome.
certified casuals every Monday at 7 p.m. We're always going to be bringing you all the sports topics. We're going to be talking about as many sports as we can: Formula One, hockey, football, soccer, basketball, as much as we can. If we pick up some ping pong or any other sport that is some cornhole, if it's on, we're going to try to study on it, and we're going to try to give you as much as we can. So make sure if you like the video, like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and we'll see you guys next week.